Hey guys, so I'm here to review the new EP from the Devil Wears Prada called the Space EP.
Where will you go? Where will you be when you forever sleep? When you leave me?
So the Space EP is actually the second concept EP that we get from this band. The first one being the Zombie EP, which was set during a zombie apocalypse. And it did an excellent job at conveying that sense of urgency and danger that one would expect from a zombie invasion. This is also kind of a continuation from that heaviness that they had on that album to the kind of experimentation that we saw during their last album, 818, and it definitely takes a lot more risks on this album. While this album isn't quite as outwardly heavy as their previous albums, particularly the Zombie EP and Dead Throne, it is definitely nothing I would call soft or slow. It's just not quite as heavy as the things that they've done in the past, and the Devil Wears Prada have always worked in the melodic, softer parts to their songs as kind of hooks, but here it's actually used to convey emotion and kind of create this atmosphere. And that goes to say with the electronic work on this as well. They've really stepped up their game with the electronic work on this album, and they do an excellent job at conveying what you would expect from being in space or being in an alien invasion or something like that. You really do get that sense of atmosphere. And right off the bat, this album really does kind of transport you into space. It's almost literally. The first song that we get, Planet A, is basically starts off with a radio communication between, what you would expect ground control, NASA, and an astronaut, and just launches you into this kind of groove-infused metalcore song. And it definitely, they do a better job with conveying emotion through the music and through the lyrics and the vocals, and they've kind of broken out of the generic chugga kind of riffs that we've gotten in the past from them, and it doesn't feel quite as boring or predictable as anything that we've really heard before. So the album's not really soft, but the slower parts are used again to convey the emotion that you would expect, that kind of emptiness of space, that kind of peril that you would get. However, to say that it's soft would kind of really be misleading. It's really not, and it's particularly evident on the song Alien. Alien is a very traditional Devil Wears Prada song. It's very, very heavy outwardly, but it's still got some of the grooves that they started to experiment with on Dead Throne and with 818 as well. So if I really have a complaint about this album, it's a very minor one. It's that I really kind of wish that they did use the soft vocals a little bit more than the clean vocals. There's a little too much of the shouting on here. Not the growling, not the screaming, which he does very, very well, but the kind of just shouting, which is very evident on the song Moon God. And it just feels kind of jarring and out of place, and it's very abrasive, the sound. And he does a much better job staying with the clean vocals or with the heavy growls. However, it's a very minor issue on this album, and it doesn't really detract from the positive elements of this EP. So I'd have to say it's nice to see a band like the Devil Wears Prada really expand their horizons a bit and kind of take a different approach. A concept album is not an easy thing for a band to do. It can really fail. Just saying that it's a concept album and that it's supposed to be about space really doesn't mean anything if the actual music and the actual lyrics and the delivery of everything and the whole package doesn't convey that. And I could see this, if you shut your eyes, you kind of get a sense of what they're actually trying to do, what the image they're trying to create in your mind. They are experts of that. They did it very well with the Zombie EP, and it's done tremendously here with a lot of improvements to their music as a whole. And it's nice to see bands kind of push themselves a little bit here. I think that a lot of other bands in the industry and in the metalcore genre really need to kind of take notes from Devil Wears Prada and kind of expand themselves like the Devil Wears Prada has.